It's great to have you on the first edition of Business Incorporated for the week. Coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, I am Bisi Adebayo. On the show today, Lafarge Africa declares a 5.2 billion naira profit in earnings for the first quarter of 2017. Plus, the 2017 edition of the World Bank IMF Spring Meetings ends with increased focus on recent economic developments in sub-Saharan Africa. And GE Power close to signing a services deal with a subsidiary of Algerian utility Sonangol valued at more than $3 billion. Well, let's begin the show with the market starting from Africa, where all the numbers except the Kenyan index are trending northwards at intraday. Nigeria's all-share index was 2.11% higher at 25,721.92, while the GSE index was also up 0.75% at intraday. Egypt tilted northwards by 0.46%, and Kenya was the only index in the red with a 0.21% decline. And in the Middle East, it's a mixed bag of numbers as shares of Saudi Arabia's second-largest telecoms firm, Mobily, slumped on a disappointing set of first-quarter results on Monday as profit-taking hit other shares. Well, the company attributes the net loss to a fall in revenue and higher interest and financial charges because of higher interest rates. The Saudi index lost 0.08%, while Dubai's index shed 1.12%. The Abu Dhabi index was up 0.2%, and the Qatari stock index fell 0.43%. And European markets extended gains during early afternoon trade on Monday after centrist French presidential candidate Emmanuel Macron won the first round of the French election. The euro jumped and posted its best daily climb against the dollar since last June and climbed 1.18% in early afternoon trade. Well, Channels TV DW financial correspondent Daniel Coop joins me now from Frankfurt. It's great to have you, Daniel. So tell us, how are the markets reacting all around Europe after the first round of the French presidential elections at the weekend?
Well, about 15 minutes ago here at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, we had the all-time record of the German index DAX with reaching 12,428 points. There are two reasons for this. On the one hand, the French election that was taking place, German investors, but also European investors are very relieved that Emmanuel Macron is ahead in the polls. They're seeing in him a very trustful politician, also a politician speaking financial and business-wise that they can trust in the future. On the other hand, talking about Germany, we had very strong numbers from the economy that were released today. The IFO Business Climate Index came out today, now reaching 112.9 points. This is actually higher than expected. So the mood here in Frankfurt at the stock exchange is very optimistic after those announcements and also after the French election. And also when you look at other European markets, for example, let's talk about London. The FTSE also up with 2%, and even stronger the CAC 40, the French index, up right now with 4.62%.
Now, Daniel, let's talk about the euro now. Earlier, we saw it go up to a record 5-month high against the dollar, but now it's down again. What exactly is happening?
Well, since the market were closed yesterday, all the eyes were, of course, on the euro, and the euro went up also to a 5-month high yesterday. Also indicating that this is a good and trustful direction that France is most likely going to see. You're right; it's not performing as well anymore today. But also, this is because of the fact. I mean, this is the first round of the election. The second round of the election is going to happen in 2 weeks, and many things still could happen. We remember we had this terror attack last week happening, friends, where many investors, were wondering how, this might influence the election. So we're going to monitor the next 2 weeks here very closely from the market perspective. If there are any, other political events happening that, might turn the election into a different direction.
Well, while we wait for the second round of the elections in the next 2 weeks, in the meantime, lots of things are happening this week in the financial world. So can you just give us an idea of what to expect this week at the markets?
Yeah, it's a very busy week here at the markets. Let's, for example, talk about Hanover today. They're the biggest, the world's biggest industrial fair, opened today with Chancellor Angela Merkel and also with a Polish Prime Minister. And then we have from very big companies numbers coming up this week, such as Deutsche Bank, such as Puma, such as SIP, such as the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and also German airline Lufthansa. So those numbers we are waiting. Then on Thursday we're going to monitor very closely a board meeting of the European Central Bank taking place here in Frankfurt. They will talk about new interest rates for the Eurozone. So yeah, I can tell you I'll be busy this week here in Frankfurt with lots of events happening.
Great, Daniel. Thanks for those updates there. Channels TV DW financial correspondent Daniel Koop from Frankfurt. So enjoy the rest of your week. While in the U.S., the stock index futures pointed to a higher open this morning, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average poised for a triple-digit gain as the market's favored candidate progressed through the second round of the French election and sparked the significant unwinding of safe haven trades. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 1.02%, while the S&P 500 climbed 1.16%. The Nasdaq was also higher at 1.06%. On the data front, the market awaits the release of the Dallas Fed manufacturing for April today. And on the earnings front, Alco Express Scripts and Whirlpool are among the major companies due to report after the market close. Equities in Asia were mixed on Monday, with most markets trading higher on the results of the first round of the French presidential elections, although Chinese stocks had their worst day of the year. Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 index surged 1.37% to close at 18,875.88 on the back of the French bulls, while the Kospi gained 0.4% to close